Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first UCL Center for Blockchain Technologies Research Seminar for 2019. I'm very happy that you've all shown up, given it's pretty much the first real working week of January, and everyone's still keen about cryptocurrencies, about blockchain technology, given, over a Christmas period I was reading a lot of articles saying, oh, the hype is dead, blockchain, no one cares about it anymore. But we certainly don't believe that's the case. Before I introduce our speaker, Jiahua, and Ben Lifshitz, just a little bit about the UCL Center for Blockchain Technologies. So we are a nucleus of more than eight departments at UCL, which encompasses students, researchers from UCL, and also academics from outside UCL, from many universities all around the world, and many different corporations and institutions as well. In terms of the departments at UCL, because blockchain is such a pan-disciplinary subject, it goes all the way from people from the Energy Institute, all the way to computer science, which is where we're hosted and sit, to the Bartlett School of Architecture, where they've launched a construction blockchain consortium, for instance, that is doing work around introducing distributed ledger technology in the real estate sector. We are at the moment nearly 150 research affiliates from UCL, from outside UCL, in academia and from industry. And these are some of the research areas that these fellows are focusing on, around technology, economics and finance, and regulation and law. If you'd like to talk about any of them later on, please come and find me. This year is going to be a very exciting year for us, because we are very thankful to Ripple, who have generously donated us a sum of money that enables us to really expand out the operations and the scope of the center. Some of the activities that we're planning this year are, of course, monthly research seminars like this. We're also very happy to be introducing a discussion series, which will be discussing ICO projects and DLT concepts, that we'll also be holding every month. Our conference, our flagship conference every year, is the P2P conference, and Thamin, if you've met him, he's checked you in, he's leading that, and this year it will be held at the European Central Bank. We're also offering executive education. If you want to learn more from top industry leaders and academics who are involved in blockchain technology, come and have a chat with me, and I can tell you more about these as well. In terms of the blockchain research we're doing, we are building out our own internal blockchain research team. So this will be researchers directly employed by the center that are going to be conducting both socio-economic policy research as well as technical research. Our project Barak, blockchains for automatic regulation and compliance, is the largest publicly funded RegTech project that involves blockchain technology, which is coming to an end this year, and we'll have some interesting outputs to showcase. We are also building out a blockchain lab, so if there's any developers in the room that want to get involved with working with academics, please come and see me, and I can tell you more about that. Finally, we're launching an academic and industry joint working group series. So these will be working groups led by fellows from UCL, as well as industry fellows, which will be creating sort of workshops, proof of concepts, research papers around thematic areas in blockchain technology. So I'm the one on the far right, so I'm the Deputy Director, Nikhil Vadgama. Please come and find me if you'd like to chat more about what the Center for Blockchain Technologies is doing. Thamin here is the entrepreneur in residence. Paolo and Tommaso are the other two guys working at the center at the moment. So most importantly, if you want to find out what we're up to, come along to our events, please go along to that web address and sign up for our newsletter, because that's the way you can keep engaged with us and learn more about what we're doing. These kind of events, we try and record them, so if you can't come in person, you can watch them, but you need to basically get on the newsletter to be able to get access to them. So that's all from me, and I would like to introduce our speaker this evening, who is going to be talking about pump and dump schemes. So, please join me in welcoming Jiahua.
Thank you, Nikhil. It's not very convenient. All right. You guys hear me? Yeah, I bet you do. All right. Okay, thank you for coming, everybody, to this first seminar, Research Seminar of the year at UCL. I really appreciate all your attendance. So the topic that I'll be presenting today is a cryptocurrency pump and dump scheme. So without further ado, I'll just jump right into the topic. Something I want to say up front. If you have questions, please do interrupt, because this is going to be something like a 45-minute presentation, 45 minutes to an hour. So I don't want to have a monologue for that long. So I do want a little bit of interaction. I do want a little bit of dynamic momentum. So do ask questions whenever you feel like to. Right. So you guys have probably heard of pump and dump schemes from the media coverage. Here we have an article from the Wall Street Journal with the headline, "Hundreds of pump groups operating in crypto, victims lose big." And then we have some U.S. regulatory organization that claims to protect consumers also warns the consumers not to fall victim into pump and dump schemes. They call those pump and dump schemes crypto scams. Right, this is the customer advisory where they ask the cryptocurrency enthusiasts to be aware of the virtual cryptocurrency pump and dump schemes. So in this presentation, we want to show you what is actually a pump and dump scheme if you haven't participated in any of those activities, and why the authorities are warning us not to participate in those activities. Why are they dangerous? Why should you not fall victim into those schemes? And most importantly, if you do want to participate in those activities, how to play the game. What is things that you need to pay attention to? Right, that's another article. An overview of the pump and dump process. So what we're looking into is pump and dump activities organized in Telegram groups. So what do those people do? So first of all, they set up an publicly accessible group, either in Telegram or Discord. Those platforms are just favored by cryptocurrency, players because of their anonymous nature. So first of all, they set up this kind of group. They select a eye-catching group profile. Here you see that's Donald Trump, and then later on you will see why they choose Donald Trump as their group profile. And then they start to recruit members. They do an advertisement in different forums such as Reddit or Bitcoin Talk to say how profitable it is to do pump and dump, and everybody should just join. So they wait until they get enough group members, usually above 1,000, and afterwards they will start to organize a pump and dump activities. So this particular group, they picked Donald Trump as the profile picture because their name is, they have a very catchy name for their channel. It's called Donald Pump, so the way they organize this kind of activity is that they do a kind of pre-pump announcement. This is very important because they want all the participants to be very much prepared when the pump occurs. So they would announce the time and the venue of the pump and the rules. So the rules include, for example, you need to buy fast when the pump event starts. You need to enter very fast at low price. HODL, what is HODLing? HODL is basically, a crypto jargon for hold. So you need to hold on those tokens. Do not panic sell. And then thirdly, you're supposed to, as a pump and dump participant, you're supposed to show or troll those coins. That basically means that you need to say good things about those coins in social media platform or in the chat group of the exchange that you do the pump and dump activity. So the third step is when the pre-announced time arrives. Then, the pump is usually signaled by the coin announcement. So a coin announcement usually looks like this. They are getting smarter and smarter. So previously, a coin announcement is usually just like a message saying that today we are pumping token ABC. And now, to prevent participants from either machine learning or automating this whole process, they use OCR proof pictures. So here you actually need to read very carefully what this picture says. It says enter the circled coin. So you are not just pumping any coin. You are actually supposed to pump this coin C and O, and I have no idea what this coin does. So that usually signals the start of the pump, which is the coin announcement. And what happens after the pump announcement is that the price will surge immediately, obviously, because all the participants would just rush into buying that particular coin. And then, very quickly afterwards, there's this dump, and dump is basically featured by a price drop almost within seconds. And later on in a specific case study, I'll show you more in detail how this whole process works. So interestingly, but also not quite surprisingly, we have also observed that some exchanges are also directly involved in pump and dumps. So this is a particular exchange that we looked into. It's called UBitNet. Those guys are based in Russia. So look, they just publicly announced that next UBit pump is in 20 hours, and then basically tell people to participate in this activity. And in their homepage, they have a big pump timer. So basically asking people to get prepared, and when the pump arrives, that you have enough funds to pump the coin and to profit from the price surge. And we believe there are different aspects in why exchanges would be directly involved in pump and dumps. So they do have their own advantages, so to say. So first of all, they have this time advantage, just like every pump and dump organizer, because they know which coin they will be pumped. So they pre-select the coin, and when they pre-select the coin, they can also obviously pre-hoard the coin when the pump hasn't even started yet. So they can enter the market at a very, very low level before everybody rushes in. And secondly, you know that the exchanges, the users would have to do this pump and dump activity on an exchange. And as an exchange, they have all the access to the user information, to the order information. So they actually can theoretically do front running. I'm not accusing them of doing it, but it is a possibility. And thirdly, with a increased volume during the pump and dump period, the exchanges who take the spread between the buy price and the sell price, or if they take the transaction fee, they also have increased revenue due to the increased transaction volume. And it is to be noted that not every pump and dump activity would be a successful one. So we have also observed some unfortunately unsuccessful pump and dump attempts. So I'm just going to show you a screenshot. Here, this group called Crypto Family Pumps. So basically, right before, so first of all, they have this countdown, 5 minutes left. The next post will be the coin, and then they're like, okay, sorry guys, the pump is postponed. We saw weird movements on the coin, and then they apologize to the group members, saying that we cannot do the pump today because basically the selected coins have been moved. And this is just not a single case. Here is a similar case. The pump has been canceled because our team cannot find any good coins for pump today, most of them having huge sell wall. So what does that mean? It means that in a crypto currency exchange or in any exchange, conventional financial market exchange, if you have huge either buy wall or sell wall, it's just very hard to move the price of the asset that you want to purchase. So that's another reason why a pump would get canceled. So from those two posts, it is quite obvious to us that pump and dump organizers, group organizers, they do have a time advantage. So they actually handpick coins. So that was just our assumption, but through those posts, the assumptions got confirmed. So those pump and dump organizers, they pre-select those coins, and then afterwards, they announce those coins to the broader audience. So this is not like that the coins are selected automatically by an algorithm, although I believe I saw one group in Discord claiming that they want to promote fair pump and dump, as in they want to create an algorithm that would basically announce the coin automatically, so nobody would have time access. But I think they're still recruiting members, and to the best of my knowledge, they haven't been very successful so far. So that's the first thing we learned. Yes.
Do we have any idea why it's not straight illegal to do that? Or, because I mean, from the beginning, I remember they tell you to avoid it actually, right? But it's not actually illegal.
It's definitely not ethical.
Right.
But then again, it's like if you just organize this group, you can also just organize this kind of group within your friends and so on, and you can move because you'll see later on that a lot of those coins are very small coins, that it's easy to just move the market. So I guess it's just very hard to regulate. And another thing is. Those guys, those pump and dump organizers, they're completely anonymized. So it's just, thus far, it's just hard to regulate. It's not, I'm not saying that it's legal. And also, yes.
Sorry, and are these coins which are already issued or about to get issued, or what?
Oh, those are all issued. They're listed, and yeah, just to give you guys a better understanding. So this is like a crypto exchange, and here you have all those coins that you probably, this one is actually a mainstream coin, but here you have all those coins that you probably have never heard of, and it's just very easy to move the market, and there's not a lot of volume, there's not a lot of trading going on there, so. That's, yeah. Those are all issued and those are all listed on exchange, so it can be traded. Right. Let's move on. Right, so next, let's take a closer look at one specific pump and dump case. So this one, let's start with this Telegram screenshot first. So this pump and dump activity is organized by this Telegram group called Official McAfee Pump Signals. And you see that at 7:30, they announced the coin, which is, again, this is an OCR-proof image, which is BVB. So you are supposed to buy, the pumpers are supposed to buy the BVB coin. Right, so here I list some dimensions of this pump and dump activity. It occurred on the 14th of November last year. the exchange was Cryptopia, the exchange that I just showed you guys half a minute ago, and the coin is BVB. And official McAfee pump signals is not the sole organizer of this pump and dump activity. We observed at least 5 other Telegram channels that basically copied this same image at the time, around the time of 7:30. So there are loads of, some Telegram groups, they do collaborate, and they also, send images from other groups to their group. And later on, they could, because the thing is, the more participants you have in a pump and dump activity, the more likely that you're going to move the price, and the more likely the price, the higher that the price would surge. So the all the organizers, they have the incentive for all the participants to participate in a certain pump and dump activity, and then claim that their group is successful, so on and so forth. So this one, again, is collaborated by more than 5 Telegram channels. And what is this BVB coin that they wanted to pump? So we had a closer look at the BVB coin. It came into existence on the 25th of August, 2016. Well, at least the coin was announced on Bitcoin Talk on that date. And then the last tweet of their Twitter account was August 31st, 2016. And after all, there's just nothing about this coin on Twitter. And we also looked into their GitHub, the GitHub repository. And their last commit was on 10th of August, 2017. So this coin was just dormant. It's just like there's no trading activity whatsoever. It was just there. It was still listed on the crypto exchange, but nobody really cares about it. Nobody talks about it. It's just like a small coin. And from the coin announcement, from the initial coin announcement, they claimed that the goal to design this coin, this token, is to support a popular German football club called BVB. And I don't know what that means. I don't know what supports a popular German football club means. Does that mean that they use the money that they get from selling those coins to support the football club, or what? It's just not very detailed, documented. That's the only thing we could find from the initial coin announcement. And this coin is not even listed in CoinMarketCap, and they have a 1 out of 5 rating on the exchange, Cryptopia exchange. So it is literally a shit coin, really. Right. So that was the pump event. So as you can see, this is the 15-minute trading chart, basically. So before the pump, there's basically no trading activity at all. But here there is a little bit, and we're going to talk about this later. There is a little bit here, and then that's basically when the signal was the coin announcement. The coin was announced, and that's when the volume basically skyrocketed. From nothing to that much. And then that's just 15 minutes. And then here, it's like a little bit of volume. Probably people who couldn't sell those coins during the first 15 minutes, they would, buy or sell their coins later on. And then a little bit of volume, and then nothing. And then that's it. So everything just happens within minutes. And later on, right, so the total volume, during this pump and dump activity was nearly 1.4 Bitcoin. So during this whole activity, it was only 1.4 Bitcoin. So I guess a lot of you would have this much of money in your bank account. So you guys, just by you yourself, you can move the market like this. That's how easy it is to move the market for those, small shit coins. And the high price of the day was this I think it's 115 Satoshi, and the low was 26. So you can see the price difference, the price volatility during that pump and dump activity during that 15 minutes. And in this chart, this is a tick-by-tick chart. So this shows you more in detail how the orders, buy or sell orders, are placed during the first few minutes of the whole pump and dump activity of that coin. So, as I said, the coin announcement was at 9:30, right? But it was not exactly at 9:30. So we traced back to the Telegram conversation history, and that coin announcement, this activity was co-organized by various groups, and they actually sent out that picture, that BVB coin picture at different point of time, but only with a difference of a few seconds. And the earliest one was released 4 seconds after 1930. That was 4 seconds after 1930, whereas the first order was placed already basically 1 second after the first coin announcement. So the speed was just stunning. So we don't know who placed that coin, but we believe it is either an insider or it is somebody with, automation skills that could grab the information, yes.
Considering the time is so low, how do you know there's just not latency between you getting them actually testing Telegram, getting back to you, and so on and so forth?
So what is your
How
question?
do you know that's the 4 second, because it's a really small difference of time. How do you know that's not the latency between you got to see the message and they send it, because they have.
Oh, you can just use the Telegram API to see the timestamp of the message. So it says that sent at.
I understand that, but there's a late. So like if I send it, I completely understand it. If I send a message to Telegram,
Right.
there's still gonna be a few milliseconds.
Yeah, but that
You will
only
get it,
that,
right?
that only strengthens our point, right? Because our point is that this first order could be placed by an insider, because you couldn't get this message, because the timestamp on Telegram is basically the time when the message got sent, and when you receive the message is probably a few milliseconds later afterwards. So you have even less time to place the first order. But this order was placed literally like 1 second right after the official coin announcement, official timestamp on the Telegram. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, how did you verify that you had full coverage in the Telegram groups that were announcing the coin?
Full coverage, as in, if I have discovered all the groups, I don't know if I have discovered all of them, but we have the data. We have the data of over, I think it was 300. I'm going to show you later on 300 Telegram groups. So we think that that's a decent amount. There could be, Telegram groups that we missed, but we have covered a very decent amount of groups, and we have looked into a lot of data. Yes.
Do you have any idea of how many people within the groups actually use these schemes and how many make money?
Right. I'm not.
Because I would guess that people they organize make the money, but then maybe 80% of the others don't. So it would be interesting.
Yeah. Obviously. So the hard thing to measure if whether somebody makes money or not is to match the buy order with the sell order, because you kind of need to know if the person, because at the end of the day, trading is a zero-sum game, right? It doesn't make sense to just sum everything up. So we actually need individual like order information. We need to know you as a user when you place the buy purchase and when you place the sell purchase, and unfortunately we don't have that data. But we do know, I don't know if I'm going to show that later in the presentation, but in the paper, the total count of the orders were only something like 200, I think, and that was buy and sell together, so it was actually not a lot.
I mean, wouldn't actually dealing with very low transaction volumes, your ability to spike the market is compounded, right? It's exacerbated. So in theory, you could have an algorithm both on the buy and sell side and manipulating the market, taking that profit.
You can, yeah.
Opportunity. Well, technically, I guess.
Yeah, well, yes. So that's what we're gonna present later on. There is this kind of opportunity. Yes.
So I take, if it's only a few minutes, I take it's only insiders that are actually buying the tokens.
Oh, we don't know who the insiders are.
I'm not asking you who the insiders are. I'm saying only insiders are actually buying tokens. There's no outsiders that suddenly see upticks or prices going up and decide to come in. It's just people who are part of the actual scheme.
We don't have that bit in the paper saying that those are the insiders, or is that what your question is? Like we don't.
Are there any people outside the scheme that buy into this particular pump and dump? Was it just?
Yes, definitely, yes.
How do they find out about it within a few minutes?
They subscribe to a Telegram channel, and you have this countdown. You have this. So people ask you to.
They're the insiders. I'm talking about outsiders.
You mean people who are not even Telegram group members?
Yeah.
It's very difficult because it happens only within minutes. It just because you need to basically like advertise on Twitter, so on and so forth to attract outsiders.
So this is just a bunch of insiders playing a game with each other.
You cannot really say they're insiders. The insider is relative. The inner circle is the group organizer. Those are the insiders. And then the Telegram channel is something that is accessible to everybody. Like you can today just subscribe to a Telegram channel, and they will announce the coin, and then you can participate in this game. Would you call yourself an insider or an outsider? I don't know. But this information is all publicly available.
Understand.
Yes.
I think it would make sense to clarify that all these people with the groups, they go out of their way to share their groups everywhere. That's how we found it. I mean, if you're in a group somewhere, you have a group with your friends, and it's public, they will come there and they'll just spam you. So that's how they get people for an insider. I think that clarifies.
I would think we don't have evidence for that, but I would think this is very difficult to do because it just occurs so quickly, and you will see here that the price arrives at the top. It's like 20 seconds after the coin announcement. So it just happens so fast. It's almost impossible for you to, tell your friends that, hey, let's buy this coin, so on and so forth. When you tell your friends when they receive the information, the pump and dump is probably already over. So you really.
I understand. I was trying to clarify the fact how do you get to being a Telegram group in the first place, because I feel like that wasn't clear enough. But I completely.
Yeah. So you have to be. You have to be. You more or less you have to be in the Telegram group in the first place. Would that help if I? If I just show you how this works. Let's see. That's fine.
You can be screen swapping it.
I don't care. It's fine.
I think the people, right?
Right. I just feel it would be helpful to help you guys understand. I forgot to pull it up before the presentation. That's my fault. Sorry about that. So, just bear with me for 1 second. Right, so here you can see, so those are not all the groups that are in the paper. I didn't subscribe to all the groups because otherwise my Telegram would just explode. Those are just some sample groups. When I looked into, when I collect the data, I use the Telegram API. So those are just a few examples. Everybody can have the access to those groups. So here you see Donald Pump, Big Pump Signal, Crypto Yoda signals, that one I just showed you, official McPhee pump signals, Big Pump signals. There are just so many, and you get bombarded like basically every day, and you get this type of message every day, so you can always participate in. So I wouldn't call a member of the pump and dump a Telegram group an insider because we're not the people who actually organize those kind of activities. Yes.
Sorry, when you say this pump and dump groups or the pump and dump action, actually nobody will announce pump and dump action. They will officially only talk about the pump. Right, because pump and dump.
Oh yeah. But it's obvious that if you look at all the chart, the pump is always followed by a dump. Of course, in their name, they only say that.
Pump and dump. It's a crime that some fellows are organizing.
You can put it this way, but this is publicly. I'm not encouraging you to participate, but for research purposes, you guys can have a look. Yes.
Then it's really hard to make money because, the way I saw the pump was like you actually pump the price with your fellow colleagues from Telegram or whatever. This lasts for several candles, so like 2 hours, then it's stabilized, and you're waiting for
outsiders. That's what they.
And then you kind of leave gradually in order to
the
price high. So I mean, in this case, it's really hard to make money.
It is very hard, and actually, I think at the very beginning, it could last for like even 5 minutes or so. So you actually could have a little bit of time to text your friends and advertise on Twitter and everything. But it just gets faster and faster because people realize that it's really hard for them to make money either because they're not fast enough or because insiders are screwing them up whatsoever, and so because people are getting so insecure, they start to panic sell much faster. So whenever they see a price dip, they would panic sell. So those pump and dump activities, the duration of those activities just gets shorter and shorter. That's what we observe as well. So here you see like what was that? That was 20-something seconds when the price reached peak, and we've seen cases where the price reached peak within like 10 seconds or so. Yeah. Questions?
I just want to ask, the DVB coin you're talking about before.
Mm-hmm.
So the coin was already created in 2016. So like how do they operate? It's like 5-6 people can come together, they buy the coin for nothing, and there's no and then they decide, okay, we have like 50% of these coins in circulation, and we will do like a pump and dump. So they basically will hype everyone to get on it, selling when it's up.
Yeah.
Everyone else who joins instead of
those group members who believe that.
Because they bought it at high and now it's a shit coin again.
Yeah. That's basically what's happening. But people still, dream that they would make money out of it because, because of this greater fool theory, they would think that they are faster than anybody else. They would think that even though they're not the insider, they don't have the insider information, there could be, people out there who are slower than they are, and they could, even if they enter the price at a higher level, they could still sell the coin at an even higher level to people who are slower, so on and so forth. So
like in the end, the only people making money are those, let's say, in my example, those 5 people who are actually creating.
That's what we believe. Although there's no super hard evidence for that, but that's what we believe. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just going to ask a similar question. Is there like a rough time frame within which you have to maybe if you do it in 4 seconds, you might make a profit?
That was basically the example I just presented in the screen. Like if you look at this chart, you pretty much have to enter, I guess within 10 seconds after so you got to be really, really fast. And not only do you have to buy fast, you also have to sell fast, because if you don't, then the price would just go lower and lower. Then you would, either sell your coin at a very low price, or you just have to hold your coin and secretly hope that there's going to be a next pump, and then you can sell your coin. Yeah.
So then you're not incentivized to be part of the pump, right? Because you know that only a subset of the people on the telegrams are basically going to be faster, and then you're going to be basically screwed.
Yeah. Exactly. That's what I said. So you still believe that you're smarter. If you believe that you're smarter than some other people.
I think the people do multiple trades, in and out, like high frequency trading in that, or
Well, you could do that, I guess. Yeah, you could do that.
can people set up their own algorithms to get in and to like if
I haven't seen those algos. Yeah, there's some pump and dump algorithms on GitHub, but they're, I don't know. You gotta do some more research on that. Yeah. All right. Okay, I'll take the questions for later because we have a little bit of time issue here. I just want to present with you guys some cool data, some high-level aggregate data that we have collected. So like I said, we have looked into more than 300 channels, in total 4 exchanges, and over 200 pump and dump events within only a span of 4 months. And both for exchanges, Binance, Bittrex, Cryptopia, Ubit. So yeah, that's just the overview of those exchanges. And like I said, with that BVB example, people who cannot sell those coins, or people who are not willing to sell those coins at a very low level, they would probably secretly hope that the coin would be pumped again and they could sell their coin afterwards. So it does happen. Coins that have been pumped are likely to be pumped again. So this is just a very descriptive chart on coins that have only been pumped once and coins been pumped multiple times. And here is basically the scale of this whole activity. So this is just like the aggregate volume, trading volume right before the pump and during the pump. So you can see that how inflated volume pump and dump schemes can cause in those exchanges. And obviously Binance has the biggest user base. So with Binance you get the biggest resonance. And this cool chart that I want to show you, it's here already. So this chart includes all the data that we have in the paper. So if you just hover your mouse, you would see every single activity that we collected in our paper. And the green candle is basically the pump gain. So the highest price minus the lowest price, the price change, and the red bar is basically the dump loss. So how much the price decreases after the pump. So those are all the data points that we have collected. And as I said, we have data from Ubit, Cryptopia, Bittrex, and Binance. Although with Binance we have a lot of volume, but you'll see that because Binance has huge use base, and they usually have very big buy walls and sell walls. So it's hard to inflate the price as effective as with smaller exchanges such as Cryptopia and Ubit. Moving on. Right, that's again a very descriptive chart on the relationship between views of coin announced message. That can be considered as a proxy of number of participants in the pump and dump activity. And this is the pump gain, and the area of the circle is basically the volume of the trading of volume during the pump and dump activity. So you can see that in Binance, in big exchanges, you have huge trading volume, but still it's very hard to move the price. Whereas in smaller exchanges, it's very easy to move the price super high, but then you only get a tiny bit of volume. So it's kind of a trade-off. Right, and then another thing we have observed, I guess it's also very self-explanatory, the coins that are being pumped are mostly, with low market cap, so that it's easier to inflate the price of those coins. And this is some small signals that we observe right before the pump announcement that indirectly sort of confirm our assumption that insiders, they do pre-hoard or pre-purchase those coins. Although it is very hard to detect those signals with our human eyes, but you can see here a little bit of tiny signals, a tiny volume peak, a tiny return peak right before the coin announcement. Exactly because it is so hard to detect those small signals with our human eyes, we're going to use machine learning to learn those signals later on, and to see if we can actually, if we do want to play the game, if there is a possibility to actually make a profit in those games. So the features we have selected are market cap, returns volatility, so on and so forth, how long the coins have been issued, rating of the coins, so on and so forth. They're all in the paper. So it's basically what we're doing is that we want to train the data set that we have collected over 200 pump and dump activities, and we would like to be able to build a model that would tell us in advance before the coin announcement which coin would be pumped, because we have all the other parameters. In a Telegram group, you have the parameter of when the pump would occur, because that's in the pre-announcement. They would tell you that, guys, tonight, 8 p.m., we will pump the coin in cryptocurrency, and at 8 p.m., we will shoot you guys this coin image. So we have the parameter of exchange, and we have the parameter of time. The only thing we need to know if we want to enter the market before everybody else is we need to know which coin to buy. So that's the goal of the model. This is just a typical, I guess, machine learning exercise. Split the model into training, validation, and test samples. And we have two also typical machine learning models, machine learning models. The first one is the random forest, and the second one is just the generalized linear model. As you have seen in this previous chart, something that I failed to mention, it is hard that this prediction activity is hard by nature because in an exchange like Cryptopia, you have 500, something like 400 to 500 coins, and you have to pinpoint the exact coin that would be pumped, because you know what exchange it will be, but you don't know which coin it will be. So it's going to be something like 1 out of 300, 1 out of 400. So so basically, this data would be very, very skewed, with only the true cases. Coins actually being pumped is only 0.3% versus 99.7% of the coins that are not being pumped. So this skewed nature of the data set makes us to use random forest with balanced sample. And also we have to use generalized linear model with lasso penalty. I don't want to go too technical in there, but we have to use that because otherwise the model just doesn't perform very well. And with lasso penalty, the GL model actually selects the features for you. So basically, as a machine learner, you can be as agnostic as you want. You don't have to have a pre-assumption or pre-hypothesis on which features might work. You can just throw all the features in and let the model figure out for you. Right, so those are just the hyperparameters of the model. Let's not waste too much time on it. So those are the features. I know this is a horrible slide, but you don't have to be able to read every single line of it. So we group those features into different categories. For random forest model, the only thing you need to know is how green the cell is. So the darker the shade is for a cell, then the more important the feature is for the model prediction. So here you can see that market cap is a very important feature to predict which coin will be selected. And here you see that return is also pretty important because it's also quite green, and all the other features, they're not so green. So just to give you a very general idea. And with GLM, with the GL model, like I said, we have to use the GL model with lasso penalty because it helps you pre-select the features to prevent the model from overfitting. So you have here the first model, we have this many features, and the second model, it drops out some features, and then with the third model, only 2 features are left. The first one is, actually one feature, this one is intercept. The only one feature that is left is the return, is the, let me see, it's the 1 hour return right before the pump announcement. So that gives us an idea. So 1 hour right before pump announcement, there could be already a little bit market activity involved with the coin that is to be pumped, and that is a very good feature. And the model just acknowledges that. Right, and this just shows you the performance of those models. Those are the typical performance measurements. This is AUC area under curve. So the bigger area under curve is, the better the model is. And we see that in the training sample, the random forest model performs much better than the GLM model. How much time do I have? All right, okay, good. Right, and in the validation model, to our delight, the validation model performs almost as well as the training sample. So it tells us, the history repeats itself, or we can actually use the history history data to predict the future. So in the training sample, we basically use the data to set the parameters, and then we use the parameters that we obtained from training the first sample set. Then we use that to test the sample for the validation sample, and then we see that the performance stays more or less the same. Again, random forest outperforms GLM, but within random forest, the 3 random forest models, there's not that much difference. So this is just another performance measurement, another accuracy measurement, which is precision, precision and F1 measure. So basically precision, here I have the formula for you. Precision is the true positive over true positive plus false positive. So true positive is the thing that we like most. So it predicts a coin, and this coin gets pumped, right? So that's true positive. And false positive is that it predicts the coin, that the coin will be pumped, and in the end it will not be pumped. So if you purchase the coin, you basically waste your money. And false negative is basically the coin is pumped, but you fail to detect that. True negative is the coin is not pumped, and you also predict that the coin will not be pumped. So that's precision. You'll see that, right, so this is the precision line. You'll see that the precision gets very fast with random forest. Let's just focus on random forest, which is going to be the final model we use for the test sample. It gets very fast, arrives at 1, which means that if we select a threshold, it gives you 100% precision. So all the coins it predicts that will be pumped will be pumped. So what do I mean by thresholding? So the random forest sample doesn't just give you pump or not pump. It gives you, if you guys are familiar with random forest, it gives you like a voting weight, which can be considered as a likelihood of pump. And if you want to get a binary answer, whether it's going to be pumped or not pumped, you have to predetermine the threshold, this hyperparameter. So if you are very strict, if you say, if the likelihood, if the outcome likelihood is below, let's say, 60%, then I would believe that this coin will not be pumped. I will only purchase the coins that the model says that will be pumped with above 60% likelihood. So that's basically how thresholding works. And obviously the stricter you are, the more likely that you get a very high precision. But the downside of it is that it's more likely that you miss a lot of coins that will be pumped, because some coins would probably have a likelihood of 55, and if you 55% likelihood, and if your threshold is set as 60, then you would miss those coins. So that's what we mean by threshold. Right. So that was just to test the models on their prediction on pump likelihood. And to actually combine this model with a trading strategy, I guess that's hopefully what most people are interested in to make money, is so we formulate this kind of trading strategy. First of all, we select the model based on the performance that I just showed you, either random forest, GLM, and also the appropriate hyperparameters, including which threshold to choose, so on and so forth. And and then we predict each coin's pump likelihood with the trade model, and we invest in only those coins. So you set a threshold, and we purchase only those coins that has a likelihood above the threshold. And the weights that we invest in, the money that we put in to buy those coins, are proportionate to the coin's pump likelihood predicted by the models. And here are the assumptions that for the performance demonstration. So we assume that for each purchased and pumped coin, so the hits, the true positives, we want to be as conservative as possible. So we don't assume that we would achieve, all the profit. We don't assume that we would sell, buy the coin at the lowest price and sell at the highest price. We only assume that we achieve half of the theoretical pump gain. So just to be very conservative. And for those purchased coins that are not pumped, so those false alarms, we assume that we don't have any gain at all. So that's the assumption. So with those assumptions in mind, and that trading strategy, this slide shows the performance of various models that we built. The trading performance of the models. So basically, with this performance demonstration, with the training sample and the validation sample, you will be able to select an appropriate threshold and appropriate a model, whether random forest or GLM. Again, I feel like only by eyeballing, I feel like random forest is just a little bit better, and again just by eyeballing, we feel like the threshold of something like 60% would be good if we pick random forest, the second random forest model. The thing is, you cannot be too strict. If you're too strict with the threshold choice, the end result could be that you're gonna have no coins purchased at all, because it is possible that random forest gives you the likelihood, the pump likelihood of all the coins below, let's say, 80%, and if your pre-selected threshold is 90%, you're going to end up buying no coins at all. So you do want to select an appropriate threshold, and if your threshold is too low, you end up buying a lot of coins that in the end are not pumped at all. So just by eyeballing random forest 2, we just pick random forest 2 and and 0.6 threshold just for demonstration purposes. And this model performs quite okay with both the training sample and the validation sample. With the training sample, as always, it performs better than the validation sample also, possibly due to in-sample overfitting, so on and so forth, which is why we need a validation sample to validate the model. So again, just to reiterate, that's the final model we picked, the second random forest model. Those are the hyperparameters. This is the selected threshold, 0.6, and this is the final result of the model with the test sample. So bear in mind that the test sample is not involved in the training sample and the training exercise and the validation exercise. So we pretend that we lived in the past and we didn't know the test sample, and then we use the parameters that we obtained from training the training sample to apply to the test sample. So the test sample before we use the test sample is untouched. So in the end, with the test sample, with this prediction model, we have the model gives us 6 predictions. So the model tells us there are 6 coins that will be pumped in the end. And among those 6 coins, 5 are actually pumped. So the 5s are true positives, and 1 is not pumped. So that 1 is a false alarm. So the next slide shows you the final result. So those are the coins that the model tells you that will be pumped. So I don't know the name of those. I've never heard of those coins. Again, those are small coins, as usual. But with small coins, the bright side of it is that you get it's easy to inflate the price. And as you can see, the pump gain can be as high as 400%. So with that assumption, the aforementioned assumption, we assume that if we have the hits, then we get half of the pump gain, and if we purchase a false alarm, we don't have any gain at all. So with that model, a theoretical gain using that model to play this pump and dump game would be 79.45% of returns. Around 80% of gain using that model. I guess that's towards the end of my presentation. Here's some related work if you guys are interested. And here's some takeaway, right? So the first one is, the pump organizers, like I said, pump organizers, they benefit most from pump and dump activities. And if you're a member of those organizations, of those channels, and you do not have your own trading strategy, you expect to participate in those activities just with your manual trading just by trading manually, more likely you would be losing money in the end. And secondly, the pump organizers, we learned that the pump organizers, they do have a pattern in selecting coins. And from at the very beginning, the very descriptive analysis, we've seen that, self-explanatory, those coins, they have low market cap, low volatility, so on and so forth. And later on, we have also learned that, the machine learning can actually predict the coin's pump likelihood. And also, we have demonstrated that the well-trained models exhibit very high accuracy. And if you use machine learning, if you use predicting model and the appropriate trading strategy, then it's likely to make a high return. So that's that. Yes, please.
So well done on the paper.
Thank you.
Well done on the model.
Thank you.
Really, really good. But then isn't it a bit of a shame that you couldn't have kind of applied it in practice? It instead of assuming 50%?
It's not a shame because I actually want to do that, and I think I should. I think I should. We now say that this is just a proof of concept, but I do believe that it could actually work. The only problem is with my Coinbase account, I just can't get myself validated for some reason, but I should. I don't know. I think they don't like my IDs for some reason.
In this context, I mean, there's always a very good chance that you take bid-ask spreads, you take the slippage, you kind of take all the various.
I understand. So we can actually be even more conservative, and it is likely that the outcome will be even less satisfactory as it demonstrates, or better, because it is possible that the 50% is probably conservative. It's possible that we could probably get more. I don't know, because it's a very trading strategy, as you have seen. So there's so many things that we can tweak. We use very rough hourly data. You can use tick by tick data if you have the access. We only use publicly accessible data, so they're free data. So if you want to invest a little bit of money in tick-by-tick data, so on and so forth, you can tweak the model, and there could be better performance coming out. Yeah. So, yes.
I'm a firm believer of the efficient market hypothesis, and that kind of says you can't pretty much beat the market if you don't have information. So this means you're kind of beating the market of the pumpers, right? Like, what's the inefficiency? Why is it possible that this makes sense if you're making money?
Well, you can always, how do I answer this? Well, I think you can always make money. Even in conventional financial market, you can still making money by conforming with strict machine learning algorithms, so on and so forth. It's all about psychology, so on and so forth. There are always frictions in there, and no market. I wouldn't say any market is completely perfect or efficient. So
my question is so when you have big markets and whatever, the difference just ends up everyone has pretty much good talent and whatnot. So the difference is okay, the smallest latency, the best hardware and all of this, right? So this would be an inefficiency that you're exploring, right? And that's why you're making money. But if you would be a pumper, what would you do better then? So someone else wouldn't make money out of you. How can you do it faster, right?
How can you, as a participant?
Well, you somehow the pump, you're more smart than the pumper to some degree. You have some information they don't have, and that's why you make money, right?
Yes, or I make use of the information more efficiently, let's put it this way, because all the information is there. People just don't use it. And also, as you can see, we detected a little bit of signal, right before the pump, but without the help of algorithms, so on and so forth, you cannot formulate those signals into a systematic manner, if that makes sense. So the information is all there. The information, I'm not having more information than anybody else. I'm just making use of this information. Yes?
In the strategy, the entry signal was the pump signal. What was the exit signal?
There's no exit signal. The pump just dies.
So you just, when you exit the trade?
Well, that's they don't tell you, right? But that's the trick. The pump organizers don't tell you when you are supposed to place the sell order. They actually ask you to hold.
In your strategy?
Oh, in my strategy. Oh, that's a very good point. I don't have it. So I guess that's also a very good point. The other thing that we haven't considered in this paper, but we should, is combining the trading strategy also with historical return. That's something that we haven't considered. And based on that historical return, we probably place the purchase order, and then at the same time place the stop loss order, to make sure that.
If you have an average length of before the dump,
I guess that's something that we should consider. That's a very good point. One more. All right. Yes?
Yeah, I might have missed that rather delay. So what if I just go on Telegram, create a pump and dump group, and then just send it out and just make money. So what stops some pump groups being more successful than others?
Because people just stop believing that they would make money, because you need participants. Again, it's a zero-sum game. You need to make money from somebody else.
So I go on Telegram and I go to like various other groups and link it to this group.
Yes.
Telegram group, and say, okay, I want to like create this pump and dump scheme Saturday at 7:30 p.m. And then I hit.
But are you the insider? Would you be able to know which coin will be pumped?
I mean.
Are you selecting the coin?
Yeah, I'm the only one selecting the coin.
Okay.
So I'm just going to say I want to choose.
Well, the thing that's stopping you from doing this is that you just need enough participants. You just need enough followers, and it's not easy to get followers. And people are dropping out. Like, you know, big Telegram groups at the beginning, they probably have 200 members, and if they're successful, more members are coming in. It's like a circle. But sometimes, you know, if you're not successful and people feel that only the pump organizers are making money and they can never have a chance to make money, people will just leave. So that's the thing. People learn as well. They learn that it's not easy money. They learn that they have to be fast and they have to use some kind of, you know, automation techniques to make money. So.
It's perhaps worth noting that some of these pump groups also sell tier access, so you can pay money to...
Yes, yeah, I didn't mention that. Thank you.
Access to the messages like 3 seconds faster.
Yeah, that's a good point that I didn't mention. So they have this kind of VIP scheme. If you pay a fee, you will get the signal like 5 seconds before everybody else.
Well, look, before we thank Jiahua, I just want to make two points. Number one, we have plenty of drinks outside, so we can continue the questions of the networking. And the second is, if there's any students here who are interested in internships, please go and see them. So thank you very much.
Thank you all.